Nichole Berlie live at our NewsNation headquarters here in Chicago. This is NewsNation Now, and we begin today with a call for change from the President of the United States. This morning, President Biden releasing an op-ed in the Washington Post calling for 3 major reforms to the Supreme Court. The first would create a constitutional amendment stating that no one, including presidents, current or former, are above the law. The second would set term limits for Supreme Court justices, and the third would create a binding code of conduct for justices. President Biden arguing a majority of Americans support these reforms, and they would help rebuild trust in an institution that has seen falling jobs approval for several years. NewsNation's Joe Khalil is following all of this. He is live in Washington. And Joe, right now, these are only proposals.
Yeah, that's right. But I can't skip over the fact, Nichole, that this is a very historic thing. It seems like we're making history every week now here in Washington. But truly, no president in the modern era has gone as far as Joe Biden is now in not just saying that the court needs serious reform, but actually proposing 3 specific changes that he wants to see to the Supreme Court. No president in modern history has done that. And this is what Joe Biden says needs to happen. One is term limits for the justices, limited to 18 years. Do the math there, 9 justices. That would mean that every 2 years, 1 at least would be replaced. The second is a code of ethics for the justices, not what they have now, which is rules that are simply not really enforceable. The justices kind of police themselves. He says it needs to be an enforceable code of rules and ethics. And the third is a constitutional amendment that would effectively reverse the decision the Supreme Court just made looking to Donald Trump's immunity case. So all 3 of those major changes that the president says he will champion in the remaining months of his term. Now, he laid all of this out in a Washington Post op-ed this morning, and later this afternoon, he's going to be addressing the American public from Texas. He's going to the LBJ Presidential Library there in Austin, Texas, where he's going to argue that the court has violated the public trust with controversial decisions over the last couple of years, namely being the Dobbs decision, the one that got rid of federal abortion protections, also the presidential immunity case that we talked about relating to Donald Trump. So this is what President Biden argued in his op-ed this morning, saying here, quote, "We can and we must prevent the abuse of presidential power. We can and must restore the public's faith in the Supreme Court." He says we can and must strengthen the guardrails of democracy. Now, the Supreme Court does have a credibility crisis on its hands. 7 in 10 Americans now believe that the court puts political ideology over being impartial in its rulings. You see the polling there. Now, this didn't used to be the case. At one point, not so long ago, the Supreme Court was one of the most trusted institutions in our government. Clearly not the case anymore. And as President Biden argues, we ask about specific changes he's proposing. Some of them do poll well. We should also mention one thing that is very noticeably not in the president's proposal, and that would be a plan to add justices to the Supreme Court, to expand the number from 9 to something else, 11 or 13 or some other number. Progressives have been urging President Biden to get behind that idea. So far, he has resisted those calls, but we will see whether any of those progressives can change President Biden's mind on that.
Yeah, we will certainly see. All right, Joe Khalil live for us there in Washington. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.